Hello and welcome to the Japa Talks, the podcast dedicated to helping you navigate the murky waters of migrating abroad. My name is Joke. And with me on the show today is...
My name is Oluwa Yemisi.
Where is the Oluwa coming from? Oh, well, Yemisi is hanging out with me on the show today. And on the show today, we will be looking at one of the most popular pathways to settling in the UK, which is getting on the skilled worker visa using the certificate of sponsorship. Yemisi, let me start by defining what a certificate of sponsorship is. We know it here as what? What do we call it?
CoS.
As a CoS. CoS. That CoS name is very funny.
Yeah.
Because they will not be looking for CoS amounts.
Man.
Yeah. So basically, a CoS, as defined by, the UKVI, is the certificate of sponsorship, which is a digital reference number provided by a licensed UK employer certifying that you've been offered a specific skilled job. Now, what does it include? It would include details like your job title, your salary, and start date. It is essential for applying for work visas like the skilled worker route. The employer must have a valid sponsor license to be able to issue you a CoS. Now, let's talk about the journey into getting a CoS. James, let me ask you what it was like for you.
CoS. CoS. It's really like what it sounds, not what it means, but what it sounds. It's highly overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's something when you're looking for, because it's actually in two ways. For some people, directly from their home country, they got that course and they come in. But for those who take the leap of faith, pack your bags, pack your family on 1 year visa, come around, and you know that after that 1 year, you have no option than to get that.
You do have an option. Let me.
You do.
Yeah, but it's a costly option.
You do. But for some of us, you don't have any other options, because the other option is going to really cost you so much and probably thrown you into a deep end of maybe financial distress or things like that. So for me, I'll just talk about myself. It was really, really an overwhelming thing, because while I was coming in, I know that after that 1 year, I have no other option than to get the CoS.
So that 1 year being the year you were on the student visa?
Yes. I have no option. And when I was coming, I was saying that I'm not going to come back here. I really don't know what is going to happen, but I know I'm not going to go back. I have a family of 5. They are so happy. Everybody's here. I can't finish after 1 year and say, okay, pack your bags and let's go back home. So as soon as I came in, thank God for the good friends that I have, the likes of my host this afternoon. Actually, she hosted me for the first 2 weeks when I came into this country. I really am mostly grateful for that till this moment. And of course, I've paid it forward.
Yeah.
But when I came in, so many advice came. And one of the advice is, once you're done, you need to get a CoS in order to move further. But I have this overbearing friend. He was like, on my neck, you cannot get CoS from so-so-so. You cannot get CoS from so-so-so. You have to get a CoS from a recognized company, and preferably from NHS. It was specific.
Let me cut you in there. Why do you think that advice was given to you?
He gave advice because as at that time, so many people were buying CoS. So many things were happening. And when people come in, they bought CoS, or probably some people gave them CoS, which are not really, really legit. Some are legit, but their mode of operations were not in line with the
directives
of the UKVI. So some of them were being revoked. But companies where the likes of the NHS, once you get it, it's genuine.
Companies, yeah.
They are established companies. So whatever you get is genuine. You're not going to be paying for that. You just get the job and then get into work. And you are you sure that, okay, for the next 3 years or for the next 5 years, I'm going to be in this role, I'm going to get this, I'm going to be able to move forward. And of course, if you're not getting that, you've not really started life. It's like you're stagnant. It's like you cannot move forward. It's like you have to be in one space. And to talk about the emotional roller coaster when you're looking for COS. My story, I will say I'm one of the lucky people, but it doesn't feel that way. As soon as I came into the country, after those advice, and I was working with the council, one of the jobs I got, because I used to be like, oh, I cannot do care work. I cannot do this. I can only do support. And I moved into that. But obviously, not all of those are really going to give you that moving forward. Some are lucky.
Settlement, yeah.
It's not going to give you that settlement. So after, I think, after I was 6 months in the country, of course, I'm a student. I was still doing that. But I'm still looking forward to how is it going to be. Every day that counts is so stressful for you. It's overwhelming. What is going to happen? And I know I cannot go on that route of postgraduate, because how much does it cost then? It was so expensive, and now more expensive for family of 5. So, and of course, you're barely standing on your feet. You're still paying school fees. You're still doing all sorts of things, and you cannot even save except for those who probably have family back home who are in government, and they can just send that money to them. But for me and my family, we really don't have that luxury. So we have to focus on that. And where I was working, I went through, because it's a council, of course, they have COS and all that. I've done all those research, and I went to my manager to say, oh, this is my situation. I need a COS and blah, 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 blah. And he said, no. Of course, before I went to her, because it's a council, I reached out to the recruitment unit in council, and the council said, oh yeah, we can give COS, but it has to come with your manager. It has to come from your manager. And I went to my manager, and my manager said, no, we don't give, we cannot give COS, no, our hands are tied, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, that's my last hope. What am I going to do?
And sometimes that's the response you get from employers, which can be really depressing.
Very, very depressing, very, very stressful. And at that point, I know that I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to stay there. I need to walk further. I need to move forward. I need to start seeing beyond that environment. And that's one of the things I'll say. When you're in an environment, don't think that is where it all ends. Just try other opportunities, especially if you're still a student, or if you're still a skilled worker. I mean, if you're still on student visa, or if you're still on the 2 years, the graduate visa. Don't think that environment has to give you what you really need. You have to look outside. So the next thing I did, it was a leap of faith, and I'm not sure that everybody can do the same. I resigned the job. I had to resign that job just because I'm not seeing myself.
You didn't see a future there.
I did not see a future there. And the job is going to be you go from morning, maybe 8 to 8. So by the time you come back from work, you cannot even think, you cannot do anything, you cannot apply to any job. But where the twist is for me, I was lucky. The church I attend offered me a role as an admin staff of the church. So that really gives me, and they're paying me even more than what I get in that job. So that gives me an opportunity to be in front of my computer every time, to do little, it gives me so much time to research. And that was when the journey began.
So before we delve into your journey proper, there are a couple of things that I've gotten from what you've said so far, which would be, first is the fact that you were already thinking ahead. Because unlike you, I would say when I came into the country, I wasn't thinking so far. And so at the point where I was a student, I wasn't thinking what will happen after now. And so when I was done with school, I then had to do the 2-year postgraduate visa, which, like you said, is really costly. As in, smaller family, but obviously still money. And I still had to spend it. So an advice that I got there is, once you're coming into the country, particularly if you're coming on a student visa, and it's not like you got a COS from home and you got on the skilled worker route from home, start thinking, what will happen after my 1 year? And be conscious of it, such that, midway that journey, you can start making moves into, this is where I want to go to.
Yeah.
No? So let's continue.
For me, I will say on the surface, people say that, oh, she really looks tough. But on the inside, I'm a very anxious person. And I want to think everything from the beginning to the end, from the end to the beginning. But the moment I take my step, nothing is going to stop me. So as soon as I came, after a few months of being in the country and see the way things are, I started asking questions. Like 7 months into when my visa is going to expire, I've started
researching and getting
this job. I said I resigned from was in May. I came in October. My visa ends in February of the next year. But at May, I was thinking, this is not my future. If I'm going to get any job, I need to start now. If there are not opportunities for me to get this job, I'm going to leave. So I left. So it's advisable. You can't be lazy when you come into this country. To get COS, you can never be lazy.
No,
you have to search and keep searching and keep searching. And don't keep quiet. Because as at the time I got the COS, it's because of the people I've spoken to. Oh, I'm looking for COS. And somebody just sent a link. And don't even overlook any link. When people send you to a link, just try, apply. It's difficult, but when you apply, ask people questions, consult, do your best. One of it is going to pay out. I know it's very stressful now. It's very difficult now. And until you get that thing that you want, nobody sees that you're doing anything. I get it. I understand. It is the way it is. Because people will be asking you questions. Oh, have you not done this? Oh, have you not done that? But you know what you're doing. But if it's not working, nobody's going to see it. So basically, I was doing that. When they say opportunity meets preparation. So I've always been preparing. I've always been in front of computer, searching. And every application I want to do, I don't just do it. I started consult. So at that time, I said we have some people who came with COS back from Nigeria. It's probably looked more difficult coming from Nigeria with COS. So I have those friends as well. So I called them. What do you do? You're supporting information. How do you get it done? And people come around to show you how things are. Because some people, when you see the supporting information they are putting forward, you will be like, you will say, okay, even if I am a recruiting officer, this one is not going to go anywhere. So you have to do your best. Whatever you know, whatever roles you have done before, whatever opportunity you've come across, whatever skills you have, ensure that you reroute it to work around that supporting information. And the journey started. I started applying, and I was not even looking within the county that I was. I was looking outside. Of course, you really don't have anything if you've not gotten a permanent thing that is keeping you.
That's where your location, your final location will be.
As at that time, I studied in London. I live somewhere else. So I still see the opportunity. I can go around everywhere. And what am I doing in London anyways? Nothing. London gives me nothing. So it's just like people who live in Lagos and people who live somewhere else. Everybody have a livelihood, and whatever works for you is what you should move to. Yeah. So I was applying everywhere. And one of these days, and it's like sometimes it's very frustrating because it's immediate rejection. As soon as the application ends,
we always say it. Unfortunate.
Unfortunate to not send the same, things like that. So there was so many unfortunate, and you will really, really be overwhelmed and depressed and start thinking of so many things. Should we just start planning how to go back home? Because, like I said, for me, that's postgraduate visa, it is not for me. It
was a no-no for you.
Apart from the fact that postgraduate visa will keep you for 2 years, that is not counting for you.
For anything,
Not counting for anything. And at the same time, you're going to spend fortune, even more than the school fees, especially if you have a large family. So I was thinking it's a no-no for me. So one of these days, while I was trying to look for jobs, somebody sent a link to me and be like, oh, this so NHS is recruiting. We were both looking for COS. It's good. Like, just be good to people.
And have a vibrant community.
Yeah.
As in, because
we're all looking for
everything
COS.
You said now, having a community is really
is one of the, that don't just keep things to yourself. Don't be selfish about information. Then if you're not, then people will not share with you. So she sent it to me and be like, and I just, okay, let me apply. It took me like 3, 4, 5 days, 6 days to get everything sorted because I consulted. It's like my life depends on that particular application because it's not too far from my county. It feels like, okay, if I get anything around here, things are going to move easily. Like, it's not going to be too stressful for us. So, because we have established a family in that county. So, I applied. I made all consultation. And again, okay, before we go there, I made all consultation, and luckily for me, I got interview. And I used to say one thing: if you call me for interview, I'm getting the job. There's no doubt about it. Like, I have to. It has to. Because when you think your life depends on something,
you show everything. You put everything into it.
Plus God, plus prayer, plus your own effort, things will definitely work for you. So I got an interview. And the funny thing is that I didn't even know. Because I was not expecting it. Because I've done so many unfortunate. And the app that I used, I don't know that I was supposed to go back to that app. I was expecting an email in my phone or a text message or anything. And they called me for an interview. I never knew until the day of the interview. And I just got a text message. You have an interview today. It was one of the saddest moments of my life. Like, you've been waiting for something for so long and it came and you didn't even know. Just because it was overwhelming. I was doing other interviews. I was doing other applications and all that. I was just doing an application, continuously doing application, not knowing that one has answered. And that message now directed me to go back to the app. And when I got back to the app, fortunately for me, I missed that particular interview date, but there were opportunities to rebook an interview. And do not overlook, that's another thing, do not overlook any opportunity that comes, because when this role came, it came as band 2. And as at that time, they will tell you, you cannot be sponsored on band 2. But there is no harm in asking questions. So first thing that I did, I think before I did the application, I called, because normally here they will write under it, they send an email, they put a phone number. If you have further questions, you can ask.
Email or call.
So I like calling. So I make the call and be like, this role, is it going to be sponsored role, blah, 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 blah. And the guy told me, yeah, if you pass all the requirements, if you pass your interview, if you pass your exam, there's going to be exams. You're going to write Maths and English. If you pass them, of course, we're going to sponsor. And that's made the whole situation like, yes, this is it. My life depends on it. I have to do everything to get it done. And at that point, again, I remember that night. I had to travel down to a place, and we all woke up all night to prepare for the interview.
And that now, I see a journey of, and I'm very privy to to your story. I see the journey, how stressful it was, and the anxiety that went into that process.
Yeah.
Fortunately you got the job, and you got the COS or the CoS, as we would say, and got on the skilled worker route. But as stressful as it was way back then, it's even more stressful now.
Yeah.
Because the journey to getting a COS right now has become highly competitive with new changes, updates to immigration laws and everything. Just this year, everything turned around.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking about getting a COS on a band 2 job.
Yeah.
Now you need to have an RQF level 6 before you can even be entitled to,
And that's if the job is on shortage list.
And if the job is on the shortage or the immigration list.
Yeah.
Now, imagine the anxiety that was going on then. Imagine what would be going on now that everything is changed. And it's not just that. We've got changes to the salary threshold. Way back then, you didn't have to meet a particular mark of salary for you to get, a sponsorship. Now, your employer has to be able to pay you a particular amount. So imagine all that. How would you describe the level of anxiety, going on right now?
Anyways,
in terms of you getting the C? Can you even imagine trying to get the COS right now?
As an immigrant, the anxiety never ends.
Yeah.
Until probably, maybe, we don't know, because we are still on the journey. But the anxiety never ends. And as at now, because, as human, we are all human, the moment you get onto one step, you want to move ahead. Yeah. You want to get into another step. You want to move to the next level. So thinking about getting a COS at this time is still not out of the scope, because when you get a job on band 2 or band 3 as a graduate or probably as a master holder, you still want to go further. You know that you are beyond, you're more than what you're doing. You can give more than what you're doing currently. And so you're looking for another way of getting other things, getting something higher. So in that case, and especially if you're not meet that level of when you're free to get whatever you want without anything or immigration rules and all that. So definitely, it still goes on. You searching. I'm still searching. I'm sure you're still searching for that thing that you feel really
you're passionate
about, or you think you can offer, but because of all what is happening now, even if you see some jobs, you cannot even apply to them because of all those things. So it becomes more difficult. And if I'm saying then I was so anxious, I was so overwhelmed, I was so stressed. Till now, that feeling doesn't go away, because you feel like you still need to get to that ladder. So now that it is even now RK of 6, movement for those who have already stepped their feet into that COS thing is difficult.
Yeah.
Let alone those who are now graduating, just coming out of school. Most of the time, there is no UK experience, as they will say. They don't have UK experience. They don't have any work experience within. And even there are other young people who are just maybe from
transitioning from
back home, come to this place to go to school. So they've not really been able to do even any jobs even before that. It's highly difficult. And I'm sure those who are on the
student visa or postgraduate visa,
who are really
right
going
now
into trying to get the COS now, I know how overwhelming it's going to be. Because recently I have a friend of mine who it's a prayer point every time for those who are spiritual.
It feels like, one of the things that you do when you come into a country like this is, particularly you've come and your plan is not to just go to school, but go to school and settle here and give your family a better life, raise your kids in the diaspora and all that. It feels like one of the biggest on the top ladder of your prayer point.
Yes,
COS would
because
be
without that thing, you're not settled at all. You can't do anything. You can't really do nothing. It's just, you're just living. Okay, yes, we are abroad and everybody will call you and how's abroad? And you'll be like, we are thanking God, and everybody sees you like, at least you're abroad. But within you know that
it's everything never there. Continues there.
It's like you are just there. You are probably having other plans of probably moving somewhere else if this is not going to work, because you have that fear of, okay, after 2 years, I've done the student route, I've done the postgraduate route, what happened next?
And there are rules to having a COS, obviously. Once you get that number, that reference number, it's not just the fact that, now I have a number, then I can wait till forever to apply. It's got to be used within 3 months. After which, if you don't get to use it in that 3 months, you will have to get another one. And see how difficult it is to get the first one. I'm sure nobody wants to mess up.
No.
I think I was one of the very few people that held on to my COS for a bit.
I remember.
For a bit before applying. And, it's also can only be used once.
Yeah.
So once you're applying with that COS, you better know that you are coming correct, because if you're rejected on that visa, you are going to have to go back to your employers if you're lucky enough.
If it is not bought, because if it is bought and you make any mistake.
Now talking about buying the COS, that's an illegality on its own. As in, the UK government would never append to you buying a COS. And I always tell people, it's very important, as anxious as the journey may be. Yes. And because of there's a lot of complications, you and I know, just how complicated the process of trying to put your money into buying, revocations that have come from that process. A lot of people, have invested money into that process and nothing has come. I always say, put in the work, apply properly to companies. There are companies who are willing to, give you the COS. If you show yourself, like you rightly said, went through the process, did the exams. I know how much you prepared.
There's not even money. No money to even do.
Exactly.
Like, I know anything that has to do with money.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Did the exams, prepared for the interviews, and show yourself approved.
When I
come correct. Come correct. And these opportunities would certainly find you. I know that, everybody has got a COS story, out there. If you're particularly on that settlement route and you are in the COS skilled worker, not to even talk about, we'll come back to talk about that, not talk about the 5-year, 10-year discussion going on right now, as in, because that's another discussion to have. It's one of the updates that, has happened in recent times. But yeah, I know one of you, all of you have got like a COS story. Please go online to our YouTube page at the Japa Talks, Instagram at the Japa Talks. We have the Japa Talks on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Yes, drop your story and share with us, and let us have some feedback on our show. If you'd like us to talk about any other topic that you think you would find interesting, also please go there, subscribe to our YouTube page, and let's keep this communication going. All right, thank you for being on the show with us. We've been talking about getting a certificate of sponsorship and getting on the skilled worker visa route, which is one of the most popular pathways to settling in the UK. And obviously, quite a lot of learning curve that I've got from your story. Let me see. One would be that it's important to focus on what you want from the first day that you get into the country. That I'm going from my student visa. I want to go into skilled work. I don't want to spend any kind of money getting on the graduate visa route or anything like that. And then focus. Pay attention, build a community is another thing that I got from you. Build a community, because it's really critical that you have that community and get the right information to work with. That's another thing that I learned from your story. Have that information. Have the information that is crucial for you to make the right decisions. Another thing I think I got from your story is don't give up.
Yeah.
If you get, no matter how many unfortunate, and this country, can be quite overwhelming with the unfortunates. Yeah, don't give up. If one person tells you, no, try again. Keep trying. And of course, lastly is, if you get to the point where you get that COS, make sure that you are swift with your actions, because time is of essence for everything. Let me say, we'll round up the conversation talking about the change, the last bit of changes that we are having, because I think lately there's been a lot of conversation around extending time. 5
years, 10 years.
Yeah, because time to settlement once you get your skilled worker visa usually is 5 years, but there's been a lot of conversation with the UK white paper asking for that time to be extended to 10 years. I would say to you that immigrants are not happy about you. How do you feel about it?
It's very, very stressful. I remember the day that white paper came out and everybody was like going gaga. People were calling back and forth from different places. But what I believe that what will be. Whatever step you want to take, just be fast about it. And that's another thing. Whatever thing you want to do, be fast about it. Don't waste time.
Yeah, don't waste time.
And I want to say, to round this up, is to say that for as many people who are looking to get that COS, that course, I'm rooting for you and we are praying for you, because I know it's a very, very stressful journey. And very soon, you're going to land that job that you want.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're here rooting for you. We talked about having a community. This is one community where you can always trust that you would get the right information about, you know, whatever that has to do with your migration to the UK or even other places abroad. So yes, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page. Go to our Instagram, follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and all our social media handles. We would love to hear from you. And that's it on the show from me and Yemisi today. We hope to see you next time. Bye for now.